Hi there, welcome to the Crusty Colonel's Wargame show. This episode I'm starting a TooFatLardies Dux Britanniarum campaign featuring Scotti raiders against northern Saxons. It's the first time I've done a campaign, but I'm looking forward to seeing how it develops. I'm sure I'll be learning a lot along the way. This scenario is a simple cattle raid. It is March 617 and the Scotti Lord Ronal MacDonal has rustled some cows in Lord Edwin's fiefdom. Blood is going to be spilt. In a moment we're going to look at the two antagonists, but first we'll take a look at the ground they're going to be fighting over. This is the overview of the table tonight. The Scotti will be entering bottom left, below the river. The Saxons will be entering from the table edge on the top left. The Scotti's objective is to get the cattle off the edge of the table on the right hand side. The main feature is the river itself. Where it is widest, it is a major obstacle, although this area between the trees is fordable. Where the river goes into the narrow tributaries, then it's a minor obstacle. All of the swampland will also be major obstacles, with the grasslands, tufty areas, also minor obstacles. There is high ground to the south of the river and to the north. Trees will provide line of sight cover and major obstacles and minor obstacles where appropriate. So, introducing the two antagonists here, the main leaders of the warbands. Firstly, on the left, Lord Ronal MacDonal. He's a hairy, average-sized 30-year-old, and he's very lustful, which means he gets -1 on loyalty. He's also a son of Canela, which means he gets +1 wealth, and another -1 on loyalty, so presumably he's not very trustworthy. It's -2 in total. But he is quite rich, and he starts the campaign with a patrician's purse. On the right-hand side is Lord Edwin. He's a youngster, 23-year-old, again of average size. He's blessed, and he's also devout, although he's Woden-born, or from Woden-born descent, which means he's -1 on the wealth and +1 on loyalty. So he's a bit of a pauper and starts the campaign with a beggar's bowl. Perhaps the Saxons should be raiding the Scotti lands rather than the other way round, or perhaps just Ronal MacDonald's greedy. Anyway, let's introduce the two sides, the warbands. They'll be fighting each other. Here we have the Scotti raiders, Lord Ronal MacDonal front and centre with his champion Hamish. On the left hand side at the front is Bluey McFlurry, leader 1. 3 groups of raiders behind. On the left hand side behind them is 1 group of slingers for the missiles. On the right hand side we have leader 2, Egg McMuffin, and 2 groups of skirmishers, one of whom will be escorting the cattle. And finally at the back, just behind the skirmishers, we have the 1 group of noble raider cavalry, and on the left hand side at the back, 1 group of skirmish cavalry. For the Saxons, we have Lord Edwin and his champion Beowulf front and centre. On the right hand side, leader 1, Elf Gin. On the left hand side, Elf Wine. Behind Lord Edwin are 2 groups of Hearthguard or elites. On the left hand side is 1 group of missiles, and the back rank of 3 groups are warriors. So I've rolled for force morale, and both the sides are on 7. The cards, initial cards, are dealt as Sow, Strong Arm and Goad, suited cards for the Saxons with Step Forth, Fleet of Foot and Disengage. And for the Scotti, Aggressive Charge, Fear, Evade, Rally and True Aim. No doubt some of these cards will be changing before they get into combat, where the nobles can pick cards and discard as they go. The Scotti also get 2 goes before the Saxons get on the board, and we put them into the pack, their cards into the pack. So I'll run through that quickly, and then we'll set the scene for when the Saxons arrive. So this is the Saxon entry point, Lord Edwin's view, looking over the ground there, and we can see from his perspective where the Scotti have got to on their 2 moves. So on the Saxons' right flank we have the missiles and skirmishers with Egg McMuffin. Skirmish cavalry just pushed across the river with the noble raider cavalry just behind, and then the Lord leading the raiders with the cattle behind. So they've not done too bad, and I think the Saxons are going to find it quite difficult to stop the raiders getting away. Okay, first card up is Saxon Leader 2, so that's Elfwine. 14, so made the decision that Elfwine is deploying with 1 group to try and clear away these skirmishers as quickly as he can. Saxon Missiles is the next card up. $14. I think they'll go on the high ground here. The Scotti Lord, well, he's happy with that, especially as he's going to move along at 11 inches. Scotti Skirmishers, okay, again, these guys will move within 6 inches, so just with 2 dice, yes, they easily get there. And they will attack. They need 4, 5, 6 in the open ground, and that's 3 hits, and 4, 5, 6 is shock, so they get 2 shock immediately. Now that's going to slow down the Saxons. It's exactly the sort of thing that the Scotti need to be doing with their skirmish troops. Saxon Leader 1, that's Elfwine. Now he's coming on with the other 2 groups of warriors. 13. So he's going to push out over here. And what they're basically going to have to do is make for this place here, or indeed even around here. Scotti Leader 2. Again, they're motoring. This might be a short game. Scotti Leader 1. Well, in fact, I've done it the wrong way around. Scotti Leader 1 is this one. Scotti Leader 2 is the skirmish leader, Egg McMuffin, but he can't really have any shock, so it's not doing anything now. The Saxon Lord, on he comes with his Hearthguard. They're obviously not that bothered. They're only chasing around the glens for a few cattle. Perhaps they've got a bit of beer inside them still. And the Scotti Missiles, now they're going to have to move to one flank, and no, they're not, sorry, they're going to fire at the Saxon Missiles there. 4 dice, 3 hits. Now missiles, they're within 12 anyway, so that's 4, 5, 6 to hit, which we've done. The target is missiles, so they're quite difficult to hit actually. Well, not to hit, to have an effect. So 5 shock, 6 kill. Well, look at that, 1 shock, 1 kill immediately. And that is not quite the end of the turn, because we've got the cattle to go. 2 dice 6, and they go 9. So start of turn 2, having shuffled the pack. First card up is Scotti Leader 1. So that is, he can't really move there, he's stuck behind the Lord, so he's not going. Saxon Leader 2. Saxon Leader 2 is here. He's got, well, he can take one shock off for one command initiative, and then he will basically charge the missiles, and as he does that, obviously the skirmishers will evade. So that's what he's going to do. If he contacts the missiles, they are gone. They will fire at him. They throw their javelins and have 2 dice 6. So let's evade on their behalf first. They will go 5. They will go 11. So the missiles are dispersed. No effect on force morale. In fact, they go 10, but that's still enough to contact. But on the way through, they will take some hits from the skirmishers. 2 hits. And on this, it is 4, 5, 6 shock. So 1 shock. But that's pretty useful from a Saxon perspective. They've already cleared some of the annoying skirmishers away. The Saxon missiles are up next. They are going to play fleet of foot, so they can take a full move and still fire with no penalty. They'll move into this rough ground, which they do, and they will fire at the Noble Raider cavalry, hitting on 4, 5, 6. 1 hit. Five shock, 6 kill. 1 kill. Good shooting. Next card up is Saxon Leader 2, who's here. Now, like I said, they have really got to get in some sort of blocking formation in front of the Scotti, so I think they're going to try and leg it as fast as they can over here. They are allowed to draw another card. They draw Aggressive Charge. That replaces the Fleet of Foot. And off they go, and they don't go very far. 6 inches. Scotti skirmishers. Well, they evaded quite nicely. They will fire again, hitting on a 4, 5, 6. 1 hit. And it's 4, 5, 6 is shock, no effect. Scotti Lord is up next. Now, they're going to get channeled a bit here. I don't think he's too bothered. Now, they've really slowed down. They've really slowed down. Why is that? Perhaps they're a little bit worried about the rough ground ahead, and they now know that there's Saxons chasing them. Scotti Leader 2. I've done it again. Scotti Leader 2 is that one. Scotti Leader 1 is that one, so wrong way round. Got to try and remember that. So this is Bluey McFlurry, and that's Egg McMuffin. Scotti Cavalry, well, to be honest, the Raider Cavalry can't do a lot. If they charge in, they are going to come unstuck. I suppose they could charge down, in fact they will charge down the missiles. The missiles can't evade. The Saxons don't have a Carpe Diem, so if the Raider Cavalry get up to the missiles, then that is them dispersed, and they get 11, which they do. So that is Saxon missiles dispersed. And with the other skirmish cavalry, they will move 2 dice, and they want to get within 6 inches of the Saxon warriors here. which they will do with that roll, and they will now attempt to give some shock. 4 dice, we need 4, 5, 6, it's 4 hits, and for skirmishers against warriors it's 4, 5, 6 for shock. 1 shock. And finally the Saxon Lord. He has 13. I should have said where he's going to go before I rolled. Oh, let's skirmish. Where's my noble cavalry gone? Oh, they're here, right in front. Ah, well, this was the danger. This was the danger. Basically, they are going to advance. They cannot evade. And we have our first combat, which I think is going to be pretty much one way. Okay, so we're going to have our first combat. The noble raider cavalry have got too excited, they've gone forward, and they've been caught on the hop, probably in this patch of rough ground, by the elites here. They're both elites, so nobody's going to get an advantage for that, but numbers wise the Saxons are going to, I would imagine, completely overwhelm the Scotti. So we get 12 here, 2 for the champion. In fact, no, it's going to be 12 only. He's not going to risk himself, and 3 for the Scotti. So it's open ground, hitting on a 4, 5, 6. 1 hits for the Scotti. Doesn't look good for the payback there. 7 hits. Okay, let's see. It's 5 shock, 6 kill. Nothing on the Saxons. 5 shock, 6 kill because they count as elite. Wrong. 4, 5 shock, 6 kill. Well, it's 1 kill and 2 shock. So it's net 1. There's no excess shock, so they go again because the shock is 2 and there's 2 left, so they go again. In fact, because they've got 2 shock, the Scotti get 1 dice, and the Saxons keep their 12. This is only going to go one way, isn't it? So 4, 5, 6 to hit. No. Actually only 3 hits from the Saxons there. So 4, 5 shot. 6 kill, so 1 kill and another shock, so he's on 3. It is an immediate loss. It's excess shock, so we'll do the excess shock first. So they go back 2 inches because they're raiders. Excess shock, but he's lost his amphora, so he goes 3 dice 6, which is 9. Away he goes. He's not interested, and these guys can actually surge forward 2 inches, and that is the end of the second turn. Saxon Lord is first up. He's going to draw a fate card, and he gets bounding move, so that means they can go an extra dice, which I think all they're going to do is just go route 1 straight here and see how far they can get. They will bump into the skirmishers, cavalry, so they will evade. They go 14. I forgot to roll for him, but I'm just going to take him off because he's basically had it. So that'll get them up to the river, just on the edge there. The skirmish cavalry will evade. They will go 16. Which will be over here. And they will shoot on their way back. 2 hits. And 1 point of shock. Now, of course, what I did forget to do last go was move the cattle. Ha! It only went 3 anyway. So all of a sudden, the Scotti may be in a bit of bother. That skirmish screen disappeared very quickly. The Scotti skirmishers here, I think, yeah, they're going to come over here and harass the Hearthguard. So they'll move 2 dice, dear oh dear, and they have messed that up because they can't see through the trees. Saxon leader 2 is this chap here. So again, route 1, charging forward. They basically want to, the skirmishers obviously evade. They get -2 because of the shock on them. Well, in fact, you can take 1 shock off before they go. So they will have 14, 13 they'll lose for the river. So basically that'll take them up to the river. Skirmishers will evade 9. The skirmishers actually pick a point of shock up because they're evading in open ground. I probably missed that earlier. Skirmish cavalry ought to have some as well. Learning something all the time. Always forget something on the rules. Okay, so yes, they've moved forward. They got shot at. Oh, they got shot at. We haven't done the shooting yet. Right. So 4, 5, 6. 2 hits. And remind myself, yeah, 4, 5, 6 for a shock. No effect. Scotti leader 1. Well, that is the chap behind the Lord. I suppose he ought to face the Saxon Lord, otherwise they might come a bit unstuck. So he's just going to turn around and go on the flank of Ronal MacDonal, methinks. So he's got enough movement to turn around there. They might have to be the sacrificial lambs there. Scotti cavalry, well, the only thing that's left now is the skirmish cavalry. I suppose they've just got to do their job. Come up within 6 inches with 2 dice. -1 for shock, so they go 4 inches. Always find these games end up in the middle of the table and you lean in over. They are just outside of 6 inches. So the Scotti Lord, I think really he's got to be recognising the threat from the Saxon warriors. So basically he's got to get across here This is going to be some tricky terrain. So we're going to pivot slightly. Roll that again. 10 inches. He will lose 5, 6, 7, so he goes 7. Well, he doesn't go, well, he doesn't really. He'll go, yeah, because they've entered it. Yeah, so he didn't go very far. And the final card of the round is Saxon Leader 1, Elf Wine. So he will again, he needs to intercept, so he needs to get going. 14. He'll lose one off each of those, but that does mean he is effectively across the river there. He's actually, of course, he can get rid of one of those shock before he moves, which he will have done retrospectively, as we all do, because I keep forgetting. Alright, end of turn, apart from the cattle. Now, of course, the skirmish cavalry have stupidly put themselves in the way. Cattle go 8. Well, they don't really go 8, but I think they can get steered around here, which is probably better for the Scotti anyway. Around we go. So, summary of where we are. Essentially, the Saxons have just swept through that skirmish screen. They've routed a few off the table. The noble Raider cavalry have gone, missiles have gone, skirmishers pushed back, both the foot skirmishers and the mounted skirmishers, and really there's not much left of the Raider force here. They're trying to escape this way, but look out, here come the Saxon warriors on their left and to their front as they cross that river, and this is going to be difficult now. Okay, next turn, and Saxon Leader 2 is up, so Elfjin on the flank here. Again, he's just going to do exactly the same. He's going to go straight for those skirmishers. He will lose 1 pip per dice because of crossing the river there. In fact, he'll lose 2 because it's not on the ford. So he actually only goes 4 inches. Three inches because he's got a point of shock, which he would have taken off before he moved. I keep forgetting that. That's not enough, but to contact. But the skirmishers would have evaded. I should have said so beforehand. So they'll evade and they'll go back 10. And they will fire before they go. 4, 5, 6 to hit. 1 hit. And it is 1 point of shock, so that shock could just go straight back on. Saxon Leader 1, these guys at the front here, basically they are going to swing around quickly. They'll lose 1 pip for going through the rough ground here, but essentially they want to put themselves in front of the Scotti, so they'll go, that's 12, 14, so they'll go 11, and that is exactly where they want to be. Right in the way of the Scotti Lord. So actually I thought this was going to be quite difficult for the Saxons, but they've actually mullered them so far, and effectively they're going to surround them very shortly. Scotti Leader 1. Now, Scotti Leader 1 is just going to stay there. He's not going to do anything. Whether that's right or wrong, I don't know. It's probably wrong because Saxon Lord comes up now. Yeah, what's he got? What's he got? I think so. They've got aggressive charge. They are just going to go straight for that raider group there. They've got 1 shock here, which the Lord can take off before they go for 1 command initiative. they will lose 2 pips per dice. So they've still got to go. They've only got to go 6 inches. Let's see what we do. And so that's 2, 1. Let's check that. That's 3. There you go, 4 inches. They do not make it. Look at that. They do not make it. Obviously that, I'm talking crap. They don't lose anything because it's a fort. So away they go. They're in. These guys will evade. Now we'll go 11. We'll take them up over the hill, far away. Another point of shock. They will, however, throw their missiles before they go. 2 hits, and I think for elites it is, yes, 5 and 6 shock. But that's 2 shock, so they can have a shock on these guys and a shock on these guys. Probably won't make a great deal of difference. So we have another contact here. Okay, so the Saxons are in now. They've gone across the ford and they are fighting one group of Scotti raiders, so not the elites. So I think this is only going to go one way, but let's see what happens. So we've got 6 plus 6 is 12. The Lord again won't get involved at the moment, I don't think. In fact, what he'll do is... No, I don't think he can take shock off yet. Probably got that wrong. Never mind. So they get 12. The Raiders will get 8. In fact, the Saxons will get 2 more because they're elite against warrior class, which the Raiders are, so that's 16 against 8. It's double. I think the Saxon Lord will not get involved, just to be on the safe side. So 4 5s and 6s are hits. So 3 on that side, 2 on that side. Saxons in return. And that's all on one group. Alright, let's see the effect. It is 5 is 1 shock. 4 has no effect. It's 5 shock, 6 kill. It's not. It's 4 5 shock. My apologies. It's another. So it's 2 shock. 1 kill. Three shock and 2 kill. Is one of the 2 kills on the noble? It is not. So 2 kill. So we've got 1 Hearthguard. So a net 1 to the Saxons. Withdraw if excess shock. There is no excess shock. So we go again. Alright, so this time the Scotti have 4 less 1 for shock is 3, 5. And the Saxons will have 6, 11 less 2 is 9. And 2 more because they're superior class, i.e. elites. Yeah, I think I'll stay with that. So the Scotti, 4 5 6 to hit, 3 hits. They probably wish that was the effect. And Alright, so left hand group, 1 shock. On 5. Nothing. Wow, well that's 5 shock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 kill. Is it the noble? It's not. Okay, well, that's an immediate. It's a withdraw if excess shock, and yes, they have got excess shock, and they'll go back 2 for each excess shock they have, which in this case is 5, and they now are broken. They lost their amphora, so they go back another 15. Which takes them off the table. So those bad things happen for losing a group. 1, there's no effect. And they'll follow up 2 inches. I actually forgot to play the aggressive charge on that one, so that might have ended a little bit sooner, but there we are, so be it. The Scotti cavalry, well, the only cavalry left is the skirmishers. So they're going to get within 6. There's 2, it's under 5, they've got plenty of movement there. They will attack with 3 dice, 2 hits, and 1 point of shock. Okay. Scotti leader 2, I guess again he's going to move within 6 inches with 2. He's just outside range, so he cannot fire. Alright, Scotti Lord is up next. Now, what does he do? He is in a bit of bother. His raid has gone dramatically wrong. That's probably because I've given up rules. So, I think let's look at his cards here. Let's look, we can draw a card. Yeah, I think you can do one of 2 things. You can either attack the Hearthguard, or try and push across the river. I mean, to be honest, the cat. I think he's got to go for the Hearthguard. He's just going to basically shuffle around, which they do. Probably ought to lose 1 dice there for. Roll that again. 1 dice because they're changing direction. They get 6, and that'll be enough though to get them in. Now this is a risky strategy. He's playing aggressive charge. I'll try and remember this one. Aggressive charge. Alright, so essentially he will have 12 I suppose he's got to get in as well. 3 for him and 2 for his champion. They'll be hitting on 3, 4, 5, 6 because they've got that aggressive charge. Saxons will have 6, 11 less 3 is 8.
And the Lord will get involved because they don't want to be outdone too much. 3 for him, 2 for the champion. Then I have also 2 more for being elite. And there we go. So we are hitting on 4, 5, 6 for the Saxons. That's a disaster for the Raiders, I think. This is absolute disaster. So we've got 6 and 5. So 6 will go on the Lord's group and 5 on the other group. Scotti are hitting back on 3, 4, 5, 6. There's too many 1s and 2s there though. 5, in fact, slightly less. Alright, so I also need to make sure I've got various cards ready. Okay, let's do the calculations then. So it's a 3, 4, 5 shock, 6 kill. Two shock, 1 kill. Two shot, 1 kill. Or 5 shock, 6 kill. 1 kill only. But that's a bit better. 1 shot, 2 kill. Right, so let's put the shock on first. Two shock here. Two shock here. 1 shock here, and no shock there. That was a kill, I think. Let's take those away. So we've got a kill here. Is it the Lord? It is not. We've got a kill over here. There is no Lord over there, so it's not a kill there. 2 kills here. 1, 2, and 1 kill here. Is it on the Lord? Cocky. It is not. Oh, interestingly, it's a net +1 to the Raiders. There is no excess shock here, but not by much. So we fight again. Right, this is obviously going to be the pivotal battle here. We've got the second round coming up. Let's go. So the Scotti have 5, 10, less 2 is 8. Nine, 10, 11, 12, 13. And the Saxons have 3, less 1 for shock is 2, plus 3 is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 2 extra for being superior quality. Alright. Saxons, again it's 4, 5, 6 to hit. Not so good there, interestingly. So they'll have 3 on there and 2 on there. And 4, 5, 6 to hit. Oh. This fight is not over yet by any stretch. Okay, let's do the hits on. Oh, nothing. Wow. 1 kill. Now, is this a disaster for Lord Edwin? 2 shock, 1 kill. I've got started and done it already. That's fine. And this group, 1 shock, 1 kill. Is it the Lord? It's not. Now, it's net +1 2. There's 1 dead here and 2 dead over there. Net +1 to the raiders again. Now, I can't believe that. However, happened. And now, net +1 means anybody at excess shock has to withdraw. The Scotti do not. These guys do. They've got, in fact, right. Well, first of all, they withdraw because they have 3 excess shock, and they go back an inch for each excess shock for elites. But they're broken, so they're off, and they're off 13. Away they go. Bad things happen. Number 1, elite getting broken. 4, 2 points. So the Saxons are down to 5 force morale. It's not good. Now, the other group are 2 excess shock, so they go back 2 inches. And you know what happens? 2 inches is what you advance. And they're in contact again until the next one activates. Now it does also say you can activate any card at any time. So the Scotti is going to play that. They are going to rally shock. Oh, just 2 points. Whatever matter, that's 2 gone there. They just want to be on the safe side. I also forgot to do a minute ago the bad things happen for the Scotti warriors running away, which I've now done. It was also 2 points. So both force morales are now at 5. We've got the Scotti skirmishers going now. They will move to within 6 inches, which they do. Fire at them 4, hitting on 4, 5, 6. That is 1 hit. And does it do any effect? It does 1 point of shock. See, this is the needly bits of shock, just eating away at things. So that is the end of that turn. Oh, apart from the cattle. The cattle! Ooh, forgot about the cattle. There you go, 4. Okay, next turn. Scotti leader 1. Well, Scotti leader 1 has gone. So he's out of the picture. Scotti cavalry. Well, we've just got the skirmish cavalry left. I've had to think about this, and I think the skirmishers are going to try and get rid of this lot here. So 2 dice 6 for movement, less 2 for shock, so they'll go 5. Basically they'll need to get within 6 inches for the harassing fire, which they'll do. They will be firing with 3 dice. 4, 5, 6, 3 hits. And 4, 5, 6 shock, just 1 more shock. Saxon leader 2. He will take off 1 point of shock. He will charge the skirmishers. And go 1 inch. Now, again, I forgot to say that these guys will evade. So they go 3 dice 6. So they go 7. But obviously they will throw their javelins before they go. And 1 hit. No effect. Scotti leader 2 is Egg McMuffin, but there's no shock, so he doesn't do anything. Saxon Lord. So we are now back to the main battle. Saxons have 4 less 3 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, 2 more, wrong, 1 more for being elite. And the Scotti have 5, 6, 7, 8, because they lose 1 for shock there. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 4, 5, 6 to hit. 2 hits from the Saxons, that's not looking good. 1 on each. Yeah, I forgot to roll one, it's a miss anyway. And 6 hits in return. Okay, left hand group, no effect. Right hand group, 1 point of shock. And 2 points of shock. Now, no one lost the battle, but they have excess shock, and immediately that happens they retire 1 inch for each excess shock. So there's 4 of them, they have 8. In fact, so they go back 4 inches. And then they rout. And they go 15. Taking the Lord with them. Oh dear. And I guess these guys follow up too. In fact, they don't. They roll to see if they chase after them, and they don't. So they get a 1 or less, or a 1, to see if they chased after them, and they didn't, so they hold firm. So that's what a turn up for the books there. Right, next card up is Saxon Leader 1, which is this blocking force here. So again, something I'm not doing particularly well at the moment. They will pull a card, which is not much use because it is Desperare. They'll be ditching one, so that's 1 command initiative. I think they will. They've got to be careful here. But I think the only way is going forward. They will cross that stream. They've got to either get the cattle or get in touch with the Ronal MacDonal. So there we go. That's the decision. So that's 11. We're taking off 6 for that because of the river. So they are up to the river and go through that bulk there. They will actually take 1 shock each because of the bog they're going through there as well. And that's because they're going through as a formation. Okay, next card, Scotti Lord. Okay, well he will also draw a card. So Scotti Lord activated, he's just taken off 2 shock. I was thinking about manoeuvring around, across the ford and then swing to the right and going up this way, but he's going to leave the cattle alone, so he can't really afford to do that. So I think what they're going to have to do is come over to the right hand side as best they can and get ready to have a fisticuff with the Saxons. So actually they don't do much there. They come 5. The final card is the skirmishers, Scotti skirmishers. They're going to try and get within 6 inches of the Saxons. They go 5. That is not going to be enough. But I will put a point of shock on, because I forgot that last time, and actually that means they can only go 4. So that is the end of the round. The cattle, well, the cattle go 2 dice 6, but to be honest, what I don't want them doing is going 11 inches towards there. Now, so they are escorted, so what I'm going to have to do, I think I'm going to just have to take them over here for a minute, which is not ideal. Because it takes them away from where they want to go. But I can't afford them getting in the way of the Saxons just over the river. So I'll manoeuvre them out of the way. So that is the end of the turn. It's not the end of the turn. Oh, 3 dice 6 are 10 inches for the left hand Saxon group and 12 for the right hand Saxon group in there. Now this could be dreadful for the Saxons. 10 and 12 takes the Saxon Lord and his champion off the table. That is a bad things happen for losing the Lord. I guess it's the same as being killed, because he's just run away. It's 5, which is 3 points off force morale, which takes the Saxons down to 1 force morale. Absolute disaster for the Saxons. Absolute disaster. And has completely turned the game. Oh, it's still not over yet, obviously.
So, Lord Edwin has run away. Is this the end of the battle? Can the Saxons save the cattle? Or will the lustful Lord Ronal MacDonal manage to escort the cows to safety? Find out next episode in this exciting, nail-biting scenario.